Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Negative Man from Doom Patrol. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on. It will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, I fell off on Doom Patrol. I was drawing them and it was awesome, but I forgot. So, and I'm trying to figure out, I want to do like the negative spirit as well, but it's all white and Sharpie, it wouldn't work with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to figure out how to, because I want to try to do some kind of something, you know, because it's just so awesome, you know, as part of the character. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I'm trying to figure out if I can, whether it's possible, which is pretty much the same thing. I don't know why I just repeated myself, and how I could. So anyway, I'm just having fun with Negative Man, really. And then we'll see if I can fit it in. We'll see. Okay, so is anybody watching Doom Patrol? I'll say it right now. It's a little blue, and what I mean by that is that's an old what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, here we go again with me not knowing my words. It's an old entertainment word for or saying, meaning there's a lot of salty language. As SpongeBob likes to say, there's a lot of sentence enhancers. So it's got some bad language and it's got adult themes. So you know, there are a few conversations about sexuality and things like that. So it's not for everybody. Get permission. Make sure it's okay with your parents before you watch it, because you don't want to get in trouble for watching a show that it's not your fault. You didn't make the show, you know, but you know, sometimes you got to take the heat for your decisions, right? And let's just avoid that one by, you know, it's a cool show, but you know, like I said, it might not be for every age. No, it's not for every age bracket. I'll just say that right now. That'll help alleviate that problem right there. Anyway, what I was trying to say is the season started back up, and I honestly have not started season 2 yet, so I'm going to start it soon. But I've had a lot going, a lot of life changes and things like that, and you know, especially with our virus and everything that's going on. I hope everybody's being safe and appreciating the time you have with everybody around, because you never know what's going to happen, right? I want everybody to be safe, but you know, at least appreciate that we do get to spend some good times with each other, you know? So anyway, you know, with all that and everything going on and the craziness and the squiddly diddlies and you know, whatnots, I haven't had time to watch a show, much less play games or anything crazy, right? So again, long story short, that's what I'm trying to say. I haven't had a chance to watch the second season. Okay, so let me draw. I'm trying to do a little bit different stuff with their hands. You know, make them a little more animated, maybe a little more just different. Because sometimes we can get away with like just drawing a fist, and we don't have to draw the whole hand kind of thing, you know. But sometimes we gotta practice, you know. We gotta draw the challenging things. Because if you don't challenge yourself, you know, you're never going to grow. Or you're never going to get better. You know, you always got to do something you can't and learn how to do it. That's the best way to progress. Okay, let's see. That looks good. And I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do it with color. Maybe I'll do a little bit of the negative spirit over here. But if nothing else, even if you're not watching the show, hey, still do this anyway. Practice. Like I said, get some practice in and draw a character with gloves and a jacket, and it looks like the Invisible Man, really, you know, so practice the Invisible Man looking character, you know? That's really what it comes down to, is even if you don't like doing it, practice. Practice, practice, practice. And you know what? Even if you don't like doing it, you can tell me you don't, because you're not going to hurt my feelings. I've had people come on here and say, this is terrible. Yeah, that's good. Awesome. It teaches me what you like and don't like, you know? So I'm okay. You know, you don't have to be mean about it, but, you know, I'm okay with learning what everybody likes and don't like, because I've got to figure out in these drawings, you know, what to continue with. Because like I said, you might not like everything. And I don't want to keep drawing stuff nobody wants to see. Oddly enough, I always get someone liking something, you know. Even one person may not like something, they'll like something else. So there's a little bit for everybody, basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm pretty good with this sketch. Now, it's just a sketch, so I have to be very careful with what I'm erasing. Because a lot of times I always try to tell you, we're going to erase the sketchiness and keep the confidence. And even though I was confident, this sketch worked pretty fast, pretty good. That I didn't have to draw too dark with the confidence lines. So all the lines that are on here are super light, so they'll erase really easily. So I gotta be careful. Okay, and I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna welcome everybody who skipped. Yeah, it might be a little too much, really. But anyway, let's go. All right. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than a fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines and left myself just enough to see what I'm doing with my Sharpie. So I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen, because I can control the line widths much easier with this, and then I'll come back and add some super defined or super gigantic Sharpie fine point pen. So let's start off with his glasses. Let me find a good picture. I'm going to draw the glasses and then later on color them all in. So right now it's going to look white, but I'm just trying to get the look of them, and then I'll come back later on. Okay, so we're going to do like an eye shape like this. Do another one over here. Something like that. It's a little far apart, but that's okay, because what we're about to do is going to help define it and bring it closer. There's his bridge, and I'm going to draw the little like eye socket parts that kind of go into the wells of his eye socket, and that kind of bridges the gap a little bit. So like that. So like I said, all that's going to be colored in black, but it's just gonna give us a little bit more for dynamic shading and things like that. All right, okay, so let's do his little earpiece things, and then this one we're just gonna do something like that, because his head's turned just a little bit more. I'm gonna draw his bandages as well, so I'm going with the shape of his head, then every now and then I'm gonna bump it like that, just to show that it's over material, right? So let's start with his chin. Let's go like this, so we know where it's going to come up. So I'm going to do like that, just a little bit of bandage style wrapping like that. Okay, and I'm not really planning it out. I'm not saying, okay, there's going to be a bandage right there and it's going to go around and come across here. I'm just kind of showing that there's levels to it. It's not just, you know, flat on his face. Okay, well, let's finish up the top, and then we'll see where we are as far as where we're gonna take it. We're basically just drawing the shape of a human head is all we're really doing. So I just followed my sketch just to make sure I stayed in that little shape. There we go. And I thickened up the outer edge because once I go to this, it's going to get super, super thick. So I was trying to match kind of what it's about to look like. So I've got his head tilted down just a little bit. So I'm going to draw this one going across like that. And pretty much do the same thing with the rest of them. Do like a, oops, I drew the eyepiece. I didn't want to do that. Something like this. And I'm also kind of defining his features, so we can say like his nose would be down here like this, like that, and then same thing with the rest of them, just kind of going across for bandage looking pieces, something like that. Let's see, top of his head, let's do kind of like this. There we go, something like that. And I'll play around with it more in color, but we'll just kind of give it some stretch marks, you know, a little bit of creases. And remember, you don't have to do exactly like I'm doing, because this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, we'll meet somewhere in between. But I wanted to give it just a little bit of life, you know? Okay, there we go. So I'm going to switch over to his other Sharpie. Now, he's got a very furry coat. So what I'm going to try to do is replicate that to a point. So he's got a turtleneck on. So I'm going to go ahead and just do something like that to simulate his shirt underneath here. And I'm going to add some more detail with the Sharpie in a second. All right, so that's the start of his jacket. So I'm going to do like this, kind of a very jagged follow through of the sketch that I did. And I'm doing it with this Sharpie as opposed to this Sharpie just because I want it to match with these thick lines, how it's got that certain look to it. And I'm stopping right there because his hand is bent in. Let me go ahead and do this before I do the rest of the collar. You see where we are, but I want to show you what I'm doing, okay? And then I'm going to add more detail. You'll see. So his shoulder is going to come out here, down to his sleeve like this, and his arm is bent in. Now his sleeve, his other one, I kind of accidentally, I should have drawn the sleeve right here. So here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to fake it like this. This is his sleeve, and it's pretty much the same material as his jacket, but I wanted to define it a little bit because it's in front. You always draw what's in front first, because when you draw what's behind, you don't have to draw everything. You know, you don't have to draw all these fingers. Obviously, you don't see that I'm doing that because of what's in front. So, draw what's in front first, and that'll guide you as to what you have left to draw. Okay? Alright, let me do the hand, and then I'm going to come back and add all the detail over here to make it really stand out. So his hand, I pretty much have just doing like this, so you can't really see the thumb. We'll do a little bit like that maybe, but the fingers are going to be a little bent, and his hand's just pretty much at an angle like this. So, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to draw, let's draw the pinky so you see where we are. And the pinky's a little more down and exaggerated like that. So we're pretty much drawing this like that, okay? Alright, so, and the thing is, I mean, we're drawing with the big Sharpie, so we're only going to get so much detail in, and then we're going to have to come back and finish it off with the fine Sharpie. Alright, so in doing that, let's go ahead and draw the thumb up like this, and then it'll kind of exaggerate where we are. Now sometimes he has gloves on, and I'll go ahead and put those on him. That way we can, again, kind of define the edges here. And then we'll do like some wrapping. A rapidy wrap. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's horrible. Let me see. It's hard to see what they're like exactly. It just looks like big old black gloves, and we'll do something like that. And this is what I was talking about, how we're going to add just extra little detail just to kind of make it, you know, material, you know, make it come alive. Okay, so here, let me talk about this. For the this jacket, there's a little bit of, it's almost like a fuzzy wool type kind of look to it, and I just wanted to add a little bit of stuff like this just to kind of make it look, you know, thick and full. But there's only so much I can do with this Sharpie, you know. Like, color will do more, but I wanted to add a little bit extra. There we go. So there's a sleeve and some bends and stuff like that. So now you see what we're going to do over here. So let's draw his shirt, his jacket. Let's draw it kind of flowing out with a little bit of flare. And we'll say this is going to come down here and connect it like that. That's good. That's good. Let's draw some over his body, then we'll see how we want to place that jacket. So for his other collar, we're going to come in here and do the same thing, and all flowing out, because again, I want the jacket to kind of really exaggerate the look and the positioning. Okay, and so you see, I'm not really planning this. I'm just kind of doing a jig-jaggedy looking edge to it. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of fuzzy fur. And just doing something like this and throwing some other dots out there every now and then just to kind of give it a little fuzzy fur. And we'll do more with color, you know, do all kinds of crazy little things, but I'm just trying to give you a fuzzy edge with the Sharpie without going too far, because we can't draw all the lines. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's not what this drawing is about. Alright. Okay, so let's draw this arm, and this one's just going to be sticking out. And so that means his shoulder is going to come down here. Same thing like that, it's going to kind of be behind this. Like that, okay? And the sleeve's just coming down into his hand. Other side. We're gonna do the fuzzy sleeve end. It's not a collar. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a cuff. Fuzzy cuff, something like that. I'll add detail in a second. And this hand, I'm just gonna do out like that. Just kind of doing one of these. Nothing too crazy. Just to practice in drawing hands. And remember, we're going to draw that glove look to it. Let me draw the other fingers, and then we'll let the so it's going to be back behind there, going to come in like that. The other fingers are going to kind of bend, and that's all you can see, the pinky right there. Okay. All right, so let's add some detail. And so, you know, I like to add creases and folds. And a little bit of the edge, like we did over there. Yeah. Okay, and again, he's got gloves on, so I'm gonna wrap up his fingers as much as we can see. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so now that I have that, let's draw the jacket out and then do this one in just a little bit. So we're going to see the front of it like this. Then we're going to see where it bends over. Same thing with this one, but out. So okay, and I know the leg is right there, so I'm going to stop. Something like that, okay? Awesome. So now we're just drawing a shirt and pants. Make sure I got it looking right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to draw his belt, something like this. So I can draw his shirt in there. And now I'll add some detail for the turtleneck. just to kind of give it the material look, you know, the cloth look. All right, so for his belt, we're just gonna do something like this. Leave room for the hooks, not hooks, loops. Something like that. Let me add a buckle. And now we're just drawing pants and boots. So let's see, for his legs, he's coming down here and doing one of these. We'll see his boots are tucked in right there. Go up with this leg to his crotch. This leg is sticking out. So we're gonna kind of draw it like that. This one's back here. Add some folds for the pants. Alright, now let's add some detail. So, let's see, let's give him a zipper. Let's give it a little extra detail here just to make it stand out. Okay, now there are like these little, I don't know what they are honestly, but they look like little D-rings on the side. And I don't know, he's some kind of pilot, so maybe they're like pilot pants, I don't know. I mean, it is from a comic book, so for all I know, it's just part of the comic book design to look like it, you know, so I'm not too concerned with it. But just showing you that, oops, gosh, I just fell completely out of the line right there. Look at that. Alright, so let's draw some boots. Just regular old negative man boots, you know, like everybody has. Alright, I'll add some detail in a second. So we're going to come down here, draw that edge. There we go. Let's see, for laces, well, we can go ahead and do it. Let's just go ahead and do something like this. Since it's going to be black, it's just going to be covered up anyway, right? This will also let us play around with some design here. Okay, so we got to go to the inside, draw like that, inside where they're held together. Let's do both sides so we don't forget. Alright, so let's do something for the outside. Now all of this is going to be colored black again, so don't worry about too much if you don't get it exactly right. Look, we can't even see that side. So this is just for our sake, just for the black and white version. Once it's colored, you're not going to see any of this. Alright, so now let's just add like a little bit of style, like that. We'll go ahead and give it a bottom little sole, like that. Same thing, a little bit of style. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to come up with a better word. Style is a great one. You know why? Because I do this every time. I got no words. I can't talk. Alright, something like that, just to give it a little bit of love. Okay, so there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color, and that is Negative Man from Doom Patrol. So here's my colored version. You can color it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw.
You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.